Hi, I'm Ryan Beard. I'm here with my dad,
Robert Beard.
and we'll be discussing The Karate Kid and connecting it to themes that we've discussed in previous weeks.
All right, let's get this thing going.
All right, the first question is how does the move to California create stress for Daniel and his mom?
Wow, that's a good question. But in the movie, The Karate Kid, moving to California is very stressful as far as I can tell. His mom has an old beat up car that needs repair, and just driving that whole thing across country has to be something that is stressful, having an old car like that. But then on Daniel's side, he has to move into a new area, go to a new school, meet new friends, get a new routine, whole new neighborhood. I mean, that's very stressful to a teenager, is being uprooted from where he lived, especially as I guess he might have been a freshman or a junior or something in high school. I forget what year he was, but it was hard for him.
Thank you. Next question is, what does the movie show about singular parent-based households?
All right. Well, single parent households. She struggles to provide for him because she's a one income family living in a small apartment. I think it was somewhere in LA. But struggles to support him and be there for him also. Being a single mom, she's not there when he gets done school. Isn't there a lot of the times to help him out with the stuff that he needs. And in this movie, to get started with, there's no father figure for Daniel. So, that's something that he struggles with.
All right, moving on. How does Daniel cope with feeling like an outsider in his new environment?
Oof. Well, I guess at first he tries going into school, and I think he's more of the joker than anything that gets started with. So he tries making friends by being comical. But then I guess other boys in there that have more money than him tease him and make it very hard for him to make friends. Although he does meet that girl. What is her name? Allie. That's it. He meets Allie, which becomes his best friend and also his girlfriend over time. But it's a struggle for Daniel to get started with. And, as we all know, at some point he gets beat up by this group of boys on motorcycles and in the skeleton costume. So very difficult being the outsider in a new environment for Daniel.
All right, moving on. What type of parenting style does Daniel's mom show?
Daniel's mom. She yells at him a lot. So, that's I guess that would be like an authoritarian kind of parenting style, where she actually is just telling him exactly what to do and what to be. But I guess at times, she's like any other mom and can be soft and caring also. But I think for the main part, she does a lot of yelling at Daniel.
Off of that, how does Mr. Miyagi's mentoring style different from Daniel's mom's?
Oh, well, Mr. Miyagi is always calm. He never yells. He's very structured in what he does. He's not a high and lows on the emotions at all. He teaches through patience, discipline, and quiet guidance, whereas Daniel's mom is more reactive, style.
And then, how does this show? Which scenes, Mr. Miyagi, does he show blending warmth with structure, Daniel?
Oh, this is some of my favorite parts about the movie. Warmth with structure is, the wax on and wax off. He teaches him karate through the movements over and over until he gets the muscle movements of wax on, paint the fence, all the other things. But in the end, the warmth is once he gets all these things, Daniel realizes that he's been teaching him karate the whole time and not just making him do chores.
Next question that we get onto is, how does Daniel learn emotional regulation throughout the film?
Well, to begin with, in the very beginning of the movie, Daniel is always reacting impulsively to stuff. Yelling, storming off, fighting back. And along the way, Mr. Miyagi teaches him to slow down, to stay focused, and, choose responses that are less reactive. He gets taught self-control over his emotions while Mr. Miyagi teaches him karate.
What scenes show him losing control versus gaining control?
The losing control, the first thing I can think of is when he's losing control is the first fight with the Cobra Kai boys on the beach. Then also other ones is where he's getting frustrated in the early days of training with Mr. Miyagi, thinking that Mr. Miyagi's just using him to get his cars waxed and to paint his fence. He doesn't realize what's going on, and he this is where he shows him losing control. The final one, one of the big ones is the Halloween scene. When he gets chased, he's wearing the he's the shower, and he pours water on two of the Cobra Kai guys in the bathroom. That's him losing control. On the subject of gaining control, he learns through his training with Mr. Miyagi, patience, breathing to help gain control, and restraint instead of just joining in fights at the end. So gaining control is, the help that Mr. Miyagi really gives him.
Great responses, great. And then, how does Mr. Miyagi's teaching help him develop emotional awareness?
Mr. Miyagi's teaching, helping him develop emotional awareness. Well, he teaches oh God, what is that kid's name? Daniel-san. He teaches Daniel-san that karate's not about punching. That karate's more about balance, patience, and discipline. Daniel learns to understand what triggers him and makes him angry. And he also learns how to center himself. Miyagi gives him the tools for calmness and self-respect, and it's through these things that Daniel becomes a better person and is able to improve his own life.
Excellent. Now we'll move on. How does cross-cultural mentorship shape Daniel?
Wow. Well, Daniel learns the values that Mr. Miyagi teaches him from the Japanese traditions. He learns, balance of life, respect for other people, humility, discipline to do what needs to get done. It changes Daniel from a quick to react personality and helps him grow into someone that's more grounded.
Very nice. What values does Miyagi teach him beyond fighting?
Well, there's so many on this year of values that Mr. Miyagi gives that all of us could learn from. But I think some of the top ones that Mr. Miyagi really teaches Daniel is self-control. First of all, he teaches him self-control. The respect for others. He also teaches them the peace over violence, to always just fight, but to be peaceful, which also respect for other people. He gets that. Some other things that he gets in there is courage. The courage to stand up to these boys once he knows that he can be that he can take care of himself defensively. He now has the courage to not be afraid of these Cobra Kai guys. and using, the use of skills. It's these are some of the things that I think that are the values that Mr. Miyagi teaches beyond just fighting.
That was great. All right. Next question I got for you is, how does Daniel's identity shift from insecure teen to young adult, confident young adult?
Well, at first he's angry, lost, and socially isolated, when he first gets to California. And then through Mr. Miyagi's mentorship and training, he's able to overcome bullying. He starts seeing himself as a capable, strong young man. And then by the end, he's not just fighting the bullies, he's proving to himself that he belongs, and then he wins that championship.
Wow, that was real powerful. All right, the next question we got is, how do Daniel's peers shape his behavior and emotional experience?
Well, at first, when he gets into high school, it's like any other kid going to high school for the first time, but even worse, because at first he's rejected because he's the new kid there, which makes him feel angry, frustrated with his situation in life, anxious about it. And then he has a bunch of bullies that are pushing him around. It takes time for and being taught by Mr. Miyagi and positive peers like his girlfriend Allie to help him feel accepted and confident.
All right, that was great. Next question is, what do Cobra Kai boys teach us about aggression and toxic masculinity?
That's funny, the Cobra Kai boys. Well, they represent, they're aggressive and dominance. That's all they care about is, be first to strike first, strike hard. They use intimidation and fear in social, in their lives. Their version of masculinity is built on toughness and winning and control, even when it harms others.
Very true. All right, we're coming up to the last question here. How does having a supportive mentor change Daniel's social world?
How does having a supportive mentor change Daniel's social? Well, Mr. Miyagi gives Daniel, the confidence to stand up for himself, with Daniel also builds friendships and self-respect, the courage to navigate peer pressure. It's definitely that Mr. Miyagi is a stabilizing force in Daniel's whole life trajectory.
Perfect. Thank you so much for doing this with me. I appreciate you taking your time.
Thank you. It's been great. No, glad to have it. Glad to help out.
Goodbye.